Hello and welcome back to another Leftovers reaction. This is season 3 episode 6 and it's called Certified. In the last episode, I refer to the last episode as a bridging episode, a bridge between two different plot lines, the plot line going on in America and the plot line going on in Australia. I'm inclined to change my mind about that. It was actually packed full of information, important information that was presented in such a way as to be almost ignorable. In fact, I didn't pick up on a lot of it until I was editing the video yesterday. The first one is the fact that Matthew is dying. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure there was some mention of Matt having a childhood illness. Maybe in the first season, but apparently this is back again. And Matt was on a bit of a warpath in the last episode. But then again, as I said last time, Matt's always been quite angry. So he meets David Burton, interesting character, claiming to be God, partly due to the fact that he survived a 150-foot fall, breaking his neck. And they talked. Matt and David Burton talked. It was almost as if Matt was believing David Burton's claims by the end of their little chat. But in it, he said something about Jesus. That Jesus had a identical twin brother. And that was the reason for the resurrection. It wasn't a resurrection. Jesus actually did die. And it was Jesus' twin brother that everyone mistook for him. Was he trying to make a confession there? Was it the fact that David Burton actually did die? And David Burton, in fact, had an identical twin brother. And I'm saying this knowing that I'm going to have to go through this again because the next episode is called something about the most powerful man in the world and his identical twin brother. So it must relate to that. Because as far as I know, Matthew doesn't have an identical twin brother. Kevin, I don't think, has an identical twin brother. I don't think Kevin Sr. does either. I think it must be relating to David Burton, who's now been arrested in Australia for murder, for throwing the guy overboard. Why did he do that? Was it to get Matt's attention? Because after their little chat, Matt was very much at peace with himself. Even to the point where his mission to get Kevin and bring him back to Miracle wasn't important anymore. Or maybe he just resigned himself to the fact that they just didn't have enough time to do that. It wasn't going to happen. 11 hours from Tasmania to Melbourne. Never would have guessed it would have taken that long. As for the rest of it, a debauched, hedonistic party, which goes very much against Matt's Christian beliefs. Was that there just to tempt Matt? To test him in one way or another? Test his vows, test his chastity, or maybe just test his acceptance of other people's beliefs and ways. I don't know. But all importance of the mission seems to have gone out the window for Matt now. What else do we have? The book. the book, I got very obsessed with the fact that both books have now been destroyed and there isn't another book, until somebody, I can't remember who, forgive me, pointed out in the comments that the writers of the book, the writers of the Gospel of Kevin, are still alive. Michael, John and Matt. They can write another. They could rewrite it. They could probably rewrite it better. So the whole thing about the books being destroyed is irrelevant. It was a distraction. It was a red herring. Will they though? Will they rewrite it? Because now we've got another person claiming to be God, David Burton. So is this just an analogy for world religion as a whole? I don't know. We're in Australia. We're in Melbourne. Laurie, Matt, John, Kevin Jr., Kevin Sr. and Nora are all in the same city now. So, are they going to meet and what's going to happen? This, I think, is what this episode must be about. And I'm still bugged out about the question. The question about the twins. Again, twins. Twins are featuring. Anyway, the twins that if one died, both answers, yes and no, were wrong. So it must be very specific to the circumstances and the individual. Nora wasn't willing to risk a person's job interview. She risked not catching the bus to look after that woman's baby at the bus stop. That doesn't sound like the sort of person that would be willing to sacrifice a child for a greater good. Greater good. So maybe it was a test. The guy in the desert answered no, but we don't know what his circumstances were, so not a lot to go on there. Kevin Sr. thinks there's going to be a disaster on the anniversary, whereas Matt thinks it's going to be something glorious and fantastical. I've already said what I think is going to happen on the anniversary. They're all going to come back. Whether we ever get an explanation for it, I don't know. Okay then, I suppose it's about time we moved on to the next episode. I've rambled enough. I'm pretty sure there was more that I had to say, but I suppose it can wait now. Is this the point where she decides to become a guilty remnant? No, she's going to try and kill herself first. You've got to make herself sick. Well, that works fast. The music's really like dramatic and suspenseful. And over. I mean, so she's looking for answers, but why does she choose to look for answers there with the guilty remnant? Because they at least think they know what they got to do.
Tell me what to do. Hey, Pop.
Hey, Lorelei. I heard you were with the good Reverend Jameson. He coming too?
No. He gave me something for you, though.
Oh, this is the present. That transition totally threw me.
He says He's sorry he didn't put you in his fucking book.
Who torched it?
Your son. What happened? Dog bit me.
Was it them?
You tell me.
Was it who?
Dr. Becker and Dr. Eden.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's them.
Right, yeah, them.
Now we wait.
Wait for what? What's Nora trying to prove here?
I'm lost. I'm in fucking agony. So I got my hands on some of the dog's pain pills. I popped them. And soon realized they were a bit more powerful than the human variety. So I passed out hard. And when I wake up, I go outside. And that is the first time I lay eyes upon this young lady.
And she was drowning the police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Whose name is Kevin.
Correct.
It was a horrible mistake, and I will be taking responsibility for what I've done. I'm not sure she understands. I understand.
Yeah, you murdered
want
someone.
to drown Kevin so that he can go to this place where the dead people are, and while he's there, he's going to learn a song from one of the dead people, and he's going to bring that song back to you so that you can
that's...
sing it and stop the biblical flood that's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, that's...
That about covers it.
It's a good idea.
You already helped by finding me the address.
Oh, come on. You're not going to let me see this suicide machine for myself?
It's not a suicide machine.
It's not?
It might
It
be.
seems like an incredibly elegant way to kill yourself.
If I was gonna kill myself, I'd just go scuba diving.
I think you're missing the point of scuba diving.
There are lots of ways to dive into scuba diving.
Thought you were supposed to be helping her.
I did help her.
And now she's helping us. Right?
That's right. That's right.
Kevin Senior just whack the police officer.
You want to give us a hand?
Oh my god. That's not good.
Said the man who just assaulted an officer of the law.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I had no choice. This chief's in a tarp under the goddamn church. He was headed right for it.
Where are you going to take him?
Far enough away from civilization to give us time.
You're just going to leave him?
Well, here's the good news. If this thing with Kevin doesn't work, who gives a shit? Officer Koala Fart here is going to drown in the flood tomorrow along with all the rest of us. But if it does work, sweet Lorelei, I will be honored to spend my remaining days locked away from the world I just saved.
Did you hear about the guy on the French submarine?
Yes.
The one who fired the nuke. Apparently, he thought there was some big egg in a volcano in the middle of the Pacific, and he was convinced that this giant seven-headed sea monster was going to hatch on the 14th in Edisol. He said he got the idea from Revelations.
That's ridiculous. No. Revelation's not supposed to be taken literally.
Not much of a Last Supper.
Well, you certainly cleaned your plate for not liking it.
No, the food's scrumptious. I'm just saying, not much of a Last Supper without our Jesus.
Where is Kevin?
I think I'm going to go to lie down for a bit. Wake me when he comes back.
Our friend Matthew, conspicuously absent. Fortunately, I will play the part of Peter. You are already John.
Yeah.
So that would make me Mary Magdalene.
That would be Nora. Also conspicuously absent.
Where's
You know
Nora,
there
Mary
are only
Magdalene?
One apostle and one apostle only. Thomas. Doubting Thomas.
I'm not Thomas. I'm Judas.
Oh.
Hey,
Senior, have you just fallen asleep in your food, or are you dead?
hey.
Oh, you're dead.
He's fine. He's just sleeping.
Oh my God. Laurie's drugged them all, hasn't she? She's betrayed them. She's Judas.
I'm sorry.
Oh, not the dog as well.
I borrowed your bells.
Oh.
Actually, I think I'm gonna stay here for a while. People should be with their families, right?
Okay.
Can you, give this to Senior and tell him I'm sorry I didn't put him in my fucking book? And tell Kevin I'm sorry I did.
People realising what's important. This has been a messed up episode. Just jumping from here to there to
Where's everybody?
Inside.
unconscious.
I drugged their food.
You know what they want me to do? You came here to talk me out of it.
No, I'm here to say goodbye. I was pregnant.
What?
One confession
I
too
was
many.
pregnant. 16 weeks.
I don't, when?
The departure. Yes, we knew this, didn't we?
7 years ago tomorrow. Are you scared?
Scared of what?
Dying.
Scared of them strapping you to a seesaw and holding you under the water until you drown?
The last time it happened. You know, where I went, that was so... It was real. Maybe I was dead, but I had never felt so alive. No, I'm not scared.
Far out as I can take you with that storm rolling in. If you're gonna go, you best go now.
Oh, she's going scuba diving. She's going to turn the oxygen knob the wrong way. Jill. Jill's there to save her.
Hey, honey.
Mom, thank God you answered. I have a very important question. So hey, Tommy said Dad and Nora went to Australia? I tried calling them. What's up with that?
Who knows?
What are you doing right now?
I'm in Australia.
Just hanging out.
By yourself? On the anniversary?
Yeah. It's kind of nice, actually.
Hopefully this is going to change her mind
I love you, Mom.
from doing
I love
what
you,
I
honey.
suspect that she's about to do.
Tell Tommy I love him.
An idiot.
I love you too, Mommy.
Bye, kids.
Bye. Love you.
You've got responsibilities still. Fuckers. So we don't know whether she's topped herself or not, or whether she's just going out there to live a little bit. Well, I'm not entirely sure what to make of that episode. It's certainly building up momentum. It seemed to be about closure and acceptance again. Learning to live with what's happened. There was a lot of focus on that. It's good to get Laurie's perspective on why she joined the Guilty Remnant, how that all transpired. The rest of the episode was just so mixed up. It was a very, very short time frame, but it was a bit like Memento or something. Like we was watching it all backwards, but it wasn't backwards. It was just jumbled up. I got it in the end, obviously, that ending. God, that ending. That's got me worried now. Did Laurie... I mean, because of the conversation with Nora about scuba diving and how easy it would be, you know, a million things can go wrong, and then she goes scuba diving at the end, that could be an indication that she's gonna have an accident at sea. But it could also, because of the pacing of the episode and Laurie's gradual acceptance and getting things off her chest and coming to terms with everything, it could be that she's just realised what's important to her with the phone call from Jill as well, and that she's just going to go and do something that she always enjoyed, because we know that she's a certified scuba diver. As for the rest of it, well, they're going to kill Kevin, and Kevin's fine with this. He's fully believes his own ability to return, even though someone did say that it only works in Miracle. They're willing to try it. Kevin's willing to risk his life just to try and see if it works. And if it does, he's got a lot of messages to send. A lot of people to search out in that hotel. But there's no guarantee that it's even going to work this time. And then we've now got, I suppose the actual calamity is going to happen in the last episode. I'm not sure if next episode we're going to see the events from a different point of view, maybe. Or maybe we're going to build up to the big finale, whatever the big finale is going to be. Is it going to be a flood? Is it going to be a seven-headed monster arising from the Pacific? Is it going to be whatever that guy at the airport was babbling on about? Seems weird that everyone's got an idea of what's going to happen, and they're all fairly way out there. Ideas of what's going to happen. Totally way off. And we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, but the stage is set. The actors are in place. Let's see what happens. Also, do we believe in God within the framework of this TV show? Because obviously characters are being nudged into the right place because the writers write it that way. But it seems to be implied that there's an in-universe hand being played. Fate or God or something is steering our characters in the right direction. With Kevin seeing Evie, who wasn't Evie, but it led him to a TV camera where Kevin Senior could find out where he was and all that. The whole nuclear submarine thing led to Matt and co having to touch down in Tasmania, which led to meeting David Burton, whatever, meeting God. So is there an in-universe hand of fate preparing our characters and moving them into the right places at the right times? Or is it just because that's the way the writers have written it? It's hard. There's virtually no distinction between the two from a viewer's point of view. I'm willing to think that there's an in-universe hand of fate being played, in which case there is something supernatural going on, something beyond our human understanding, in which case the disappearance could have been along the same lines, maybe. I'm waffling. good episode. Really, really well paced. The music was excellent. It was really minimalist, the music, I noticed. Especially at the beginning. When Laurie was writing the note and taking the tablets, there was this bass line. It was really minimal. It was really effective. And then throughout there was a very, very basic piano melody going on, which again was very minimalist and very effective. So yeah, the music has always been absolutely top notch in this show, but the music of this episode was it scaled new heights as far as I'm concerned. Brilliant. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, keep well. Bye bye.